Hello, welcome to the course about Geographic Information System for Municipality Management. At this new model, we are going to see the editing tools in GBC. We can create new vector layers, we can create point, line or polygon shape files, and we also can edit the existing ones. For example, the DXF, we can edit the DXF file, and we also can edit a DWG file, but we will have to record it to save it as a DXF file. In our case, we are going to create a new view, and we are going to change the properties reference system 26910 that we used in the first practical model. We are going to load the San Francisco layers, so we are going to select this one. If you don't have the reference system, you will look for it at the EPSG option by code. So we press OK and we press accept. And now we have the reference system of the view is this one, so it's correct. We are going to load the layers that will be here, model 7, San Francisco. Here we have, it's a raster layer, so we have we can load it tiled or normally. For very big layers, we will have to load it tiled because it will be charged. It will be loaded by tiles. But in our case, it's a small image, so we can load it normally. We press accept. Here we have the orthophoto, and then we are going to add another layer. In this case, San Francisco streets. We press open. It has a PRJ file with the projection, so it has been recognized, and it's the same than the view, so it won't be reprojected on the fly. It will be at the correct side. We press OK, and here we have the streets. And now we are going to create a new layer. We are going to create a point layer because we are going to digitalize the ports. For example, we have here we have a port here, another one here, and another one here. So we can digitalize the ports. You can do it in your city council. You can do it for the different elements. For example, the points of interest, like the health center, the city council, the stadium, etc. So we are going to create a new layer. In this case, we do it from view, new layer, and we select a new shapefile. We press next, and we have to select the path where we are going to save the layer. In my case, in the results folder, and it will be San Francisco ports. I press OK, and then I press next. Here we have the geometry type. We have different type of geometries. We can create a point shapefile, curve or line shapefile, a polygon shapefile, and a multi-point. So we are going to select point. And we also can add a new field. Here we have the fields of the DBF file, the attribute table associated to the new layer. We are going to change the name, for example, name of the port, and we have the different types. We can create a text field, an integer for numbers, and float with decimals, or date. We are going to keep the string type, and we can change the length of the field. So we can keep, for example, 20. We press next, and we are going to add the layer to the view. We finish, and here we have our new layer, but it's empty. We can see it at the attribute table. And now we are going to start editing. We start editing, secondary button, and start editing. And here we have, it's a point layer. We can see the console with the actions that we can follow. And we have a new toolbar with the type of geometries that we can add. It's a point layer, so we only can add points. No multi-points, no lines, no polygons, etc. And we also can move, rotate, scale, etc. So we are going to add a new point here, because it's one port, here another port, here another port, and here another port. You can see it, the points, because it's they are in this color. I'm going to double click on this point to change only the points, the size and the color of the points. So here we can see the 4 ports that we have created, and we also can copy or move the geometries. For example, this one. If we want to move this one, we can follow the instructions of the console. Selection. Yes, I have selected the point, so I press enter. First point. I want to move from here to here, so it has been moved. Or I also can use the console to move writing the coordinates. For example, I want to move 20 meters to the west side, so I will write first point 0, 0, and then minus 20, 0. So 20 meters to the left side. Well, when I have the points, I also can change the attribute table properties. I can fill in the different registers with the name of the field. For example, Westport. For example, this one. I have 20 characters to fill. Port 2, port 3, and East port, for example. And here we have the different ports. So when I finish editing, I have to press secondary button and finish editing. I can save the changes, I can discard them, so the layer will be empty, or I can continue editing. If I forgot to edit something, I can continue. So I'm going to save the layer. So I have a new shape file in my computer with different points and the attribute table with different with the information. I'm going to use a symbol of the symbol library that we downloaded in the previous video. It was the OpenStreetMap symbol library. So I'm going to select, double click, and I have here OpenStreetMap. I'm going to open, and I'm going to select tourist. No, in transport I have the port for transport and 20 pixels. For example, if I press 20 pixels, I can see the port, the symbol of the port at the different points that we have drawn. Well, we also can edit the line layer. For example, we have the streets, and if we have here, I'm going to change the transparency, to apply transparency to the orthophoto to see the lines better, and to change the color, red color, so we can see the streets in a better way. So we can start editing, secondary button and start editing, and we can select, for example, this element that it's not correct. I can select this option, remove, and I also can use these tools to write new elements. For example, the polyline, this one, insert polyline, and I'm going to draw this one, for example, for here to here. If I want to finish, I can open secondary button and close polyline or finish, or I can use also the console, for example, finish. I press F and I have the new element, and if I want to use the snapping, I can access from two places, from show preferences, snapping. Here we have the different type of snapping that we can apply, and you can also increase the tolerance. If you don't apply correctly, you can increase the tolerance. For example, 10 pixels is a good option. And the other option is from view properties, the snapping tab. We have the layers that we want to apply the snapping. We are editing the streets, but if we want to edit from a point, we could select this layer. So we accept, and I'm going to draw a new line using this tool from here to here to here and then here. Secondary button and finish. So I have two new streets. If I open the attribute table, here we have the two new streets. I can fill in the data at the attribute table, so when I finish editing the attribute table, I press secondary button and finish editing. I can save the layer, and here we have two new elements, as you can see here. Okay, here we have seen how to edit the layers, vector layers in GPC. See you in the next video.